So we've gotten a lot of quality of life changes this past half year in FGO. We've gotten the ability to craft grails, we've got a pity system, we can now have 3 different support lists on the event and normal, and a bunch of others. And in today's video I'm going to talk about 10 different quality of life changes I would still like to see in FGO. So number 1 is regarding friend points. I would like to see 100 roll in FP. Now that we can craft grails with servant coins, it would be really nice to just do 100 spin like we can now do with lotto boxes. So we don't have to spend forever actually just tapping to try to spend friend points, because a lot of people, they have millions and millions of friend points and it can take hours or even days just rolling out all the friend points, and that's just really not fun, similar to how rolling out lotto boxes isn't very fun. And this would be a really nice quality of life change to see, especially since servant coins are important now for crafting your 2 grails a month. And number 2 is servant coins. Actually, I would like to see generic servant coins, and also possibly an ability to farm those servant coins. So for example, here on my JP account, my summer Hokusai, if I go here, go to my pen skills for her, as you can see, I've rolled her to 102 and I don't even have enough servant coins to even like any more of her pen skills, which is really unfortunate. I have no way of getting more servant coins for her. For anything like 4 or 5 stars or any welfares, it's really hard to get servant coins to either unlock all their pen skills or to fully grail them to 120. And I think we really do need a way down the line to unlock these sort of like generic servant coins, whether it be through events. We can maybe buy them like gold bows, or maybe even farm them during the daily quest, is something to generate more servant coins for these harder to get servants. And number 3 on my list is the ability to bind an account to something other than just a recovery code and password. A couple of weeks ago, I was getting some error in FGO and I couldn't figure out what it was. So I had to uninstall FGO JP, and I forgot where I had stored my servant code and password, or recovery code and password. And I had to just dig around, and it's really annoying. I wish we could have bind it to some sort of email account or Google Play, iTunes, just some sort of account, so it would be easier to recover it. You can sort of recover it through their support system, as one of my friends was able to do so, but it takes a while. Luckily, I was able to find where I had my recovery password and code at, so I was able to correctly sign in with my account. But it's 2022. We need something better than just a recovery code and password to bind to your account. We need some sort of like email or Google Play, iTunes, just something. Number 4 is I would like to see an increase in the number of 3-star and lower servants brought into the game. From right now in NA to right now in JP, there has been 1 3-star and lower servant that's been released, and that's Oda Nobukatsu. And just 2.5 a year, or I guess 2 years. Oh no, it's 2.5 if you consider the last time we've gotten any like big push of 2, 3, or 1-star servants is put into the game. I really think that, especially for some of the free-to-play users, getting some of those lower rarity servants could really help, especially with a lot of the content becoming harder and harder in the game. Something like maybe like a quick support, maybe like an alter ego or 3-star ruler would be really nice to have, or 3-star foreigner, something for the free-to-plays to have. There used to be a whole bunch of like 3 stars being put into the game in the early stages, and now it seems like they're focusing only on the 4 and 5 stars. The quality of the servants has gone up, but I still would like to see some more love towards the lower star servants, as they're really important to a lot of users in the game. Number 5 is it would be cool if we can sort of bind a team composition to sort of a free quest farming node, so it remembers what team you used when you last farmed it. There are 10 slots right now, which is admittedly a lot, and a lot of times you are going to be sort of using the same comps, but some of them it would be nice to like go in a node if you don't like remember, okay, what does this node have? Let me look it up. What kind of servants did I bring in? It would be nice if the game sort of remembered these are the last like 5 servants you brought in here for this node, and here we'll auto populate it. It could be an option you toggle on and off, so maybe it won't be on by default, but something you can turn on, and it'll remember what team you last used. It would just be a really nice quality of life change for them to sort of remember what you used to farm that node last time. Number 6 is faux pause. Right now it requires a ridiculously long time to fully faux pause servant. Even right now on my JP account, as you'll see here, command cards, and go to my summer Hokusai. I don't even have her fully faux pause, and I started with her. I do have enough to actually, do I have enough? Yeah, I do have enough barely to fully faux pas her. And I've been playing since the Mama Nobu, the very first time Mama Nobu came out around that time on JP. And I'm just like now have barely enough faux pas to fully faux pas her. I have missed a few weeks of the getting the faux pas at the end of the week. So I don't have all of them, but we rarely get them from events. Like I know this past New Year's we got one from the panel mission things, but they are very slowly put into the game, and I would just like to see the ability to get more faux pas. It could be something through like golden faux, for example. If we can get, like maybe like 3 per event, just something to help speed up that recovery. As of now, without like any special like events where we get golden faux, it takes a little under 2.5 years to fully faux pas a servant, and that's they could speed that up by at least half. Just it shouldn't take 2.5 years. I know like the attack damage is like one of the, if not the best scaling a servant can get, but I mean, come on, it's 2.5 years. It's way too long. Number 7 is I would really like the ability to change who you're targeting when selecting cards, like sort of like mid-selection. So what I mean by that, if you select a card when attacking, and let's say you want to attack a different enemy, you have to unselect all the cards you've already selected. That was really annoying for me this past Christmas in Lotto, where I did the 6EE, double Artoria, and Benny Emma comp, and I would have to face card the first wave, and if I clicked and like, oh, I want to target this enemy first instead, I would have to unselect it. I couldn't just select it mid-card selection. That would be a really nice quality of life change to see. Number 8 is I wish pity didn't reset on sort of rotating banners. So for example, like the Valentine's Day events, we have like the servant that's on rate up, and they sort of like rotate banners like every day with other 5 stars for split rate ups. And from my understanding is whenever it switches the rotating banner, it resets pity. It doesn't remember your pity, and I think that's really dumb to have pity reset like mid banner. I sort of understand it between different, like completely different banners, like the Valentine's banner and then whatever banner would be after it resets then. I mean, come on, mid banner it shouldn't reset. You have to have all the courts ready before the banner resets, and that can be like as little as a day you have. And let's say you're like on the fence, let's say you spend like 750 courts and you're on the fence about buying a pack, or maybe you don't have time to buy a pack and you have to wait until later on in the day or like later in the week. You can't do that. You have to go all in then, and I think that's really, really dumb. It's nice we have pity, but come on, it shouldn't reset mid rotating banners. Number 9 is I think it would be really cool to have the ability to replace story boss fights. I know RuneScape it's a game I've like played a lot since like 2006 on and off, and some of the bosses, they have Nightmare Zone where you can sort of replay or fight bosses, and then Even some of the ones, like there's this big quest, Dragon Slayer 2, where you can go in and just refight the boss for fun. And I think that would be really cool to have in FGO, especially whenever they release like stronger servants and you can sort of just meme on a boss. Like actually with Hephaestion, who recently came out, she has the ability to absorb the team's curse, and it'd be fun to see like how that plays into the big Chungus boss fight in Lost Belt 6. See how that sort of changes around, and it'd be really fun to just sort of replay story bosses like that. You don't have to like get any rewards or anything. It can be like 5 AP and just, you know, just have some fun. I think that would be a lot of fun. And at number 10, I wish we'd have the ability to sort of like select a best friend in FGO. So whenever you're sort of refreshing for a support, that best friend would always appear. There is sort of like the fight back, you can say, of people saying, well, they'll just like select the Omega Whale on everybody's friends list and it'll sort of funnel friend points into like all the whales. But it's like, if we have like one person, I mean, it's, yes, they could get more friend points, but most of the friend points people are going to get is through lottos. So I don't really see it as of a big deal. And let's say, so I know I've had this before where I've had like friends say, hey, could you put like Neo Bride specifically on your support list for the lotto? I need a Neo Bride. And I'd be like, yep, sure. Because maybe a lot of people are doing like the Artoria comps or Maniamas, and they need a specific servant. It'd be nice for, you know, me to put up that one support that one person needs, and them to always be able to see it. I think it's just something that's I think would be really nice to have and would help out a lot of players. Anyways, that's just sort of 10 different quality of life changes I would like to see in FGO. Let me know in the comments what sort of quality of life changes you would like to see, which ones you agree with about mine, and if there's any on my list that you don't think would be very good or you would have something else to say about it. That's gonna do it for me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Later.